and it sounds just wicked. It's a fun little tool. Hi everyone, I'm Jason with Groove Studio. I just wanted to set up this next clip a little bit. It's from a short video lesson, or SVL, one of my students recommended that I share. SVLs are weekly 5-minute video lessons that I send off to the student, and then they send me a video of their progress back. They're really meant for people that maybe just don't have time in their regular life to get to a weekly lesson, or perhaps just don't have a teacher in their area. With SVLs, they are meant to be casual and relaxed, so there's not a whole lot of production or editing or anything. Also, if you have any questions on these, please feel free to reach me through my website linked down below. Also, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel lately. It has been a great help. And please, if you are not, like and subscribe down below. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Hey, how's it going? Congratulations on making Drumline. That is awesome. I'm glad everything we worked on helped you achieve that. That's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to all the summer that we have to really work on some chops and get your hands feeling better. But in regards to the drum set, the video that you sent to me, there was something in it that caught my attention that I wanted to kind of elaborate on. I'll send you a PDF on kind of my take on it, and this is something that we can go down the rabbit hole on, and we kind of want to look at it a couple different perspectives. So technically, I've always called it a Herta. Some people say Herta. We'll just keep that debate for another time. Is it Herta or Herta? I learned it as Herta, and I kind of learned it backwards, right? It's a little bit easier when we are in a triple meter, like 6/8 or 12/8. I learned it in the 4/4 16th note way. The thing that caught my attention about it, your idea started great, but then with a Herta, you always have to do two, and at least two actually. So in the way I'm going to show you, it'll be 4, but because of the sticking, if you do one Herta, because it's singled, there's no doubles in this version, you basically flip your sticking. So your sticking becomes inverted. So if you do a right-handed Herta, then it flips the left-hand lead within your measure if you don't vary any of the rhythm. So if it's just constant 16 notes, for example, if you start your Herta right-handed and keep it alternating, your sticking is now inverted. So you always have to do 2 to get your sticking back. So no odd number groupings on this version of it. We will get into why and how later. But here, let me show you kind of my breakdown on it and how I choose to think about it. This is open for debate. It really is. This is just how I thought about it and how I figured it out. I'm sure there are much better ways to do it. And I'll talk about some other alternatives that we can do that maybe make it sink in, because this clicked for me. The other version didn't, which was weird, but this is what worked for me. So here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I'm talking about here is basically this is written in 4/4 time, and it's just nothing but 16th notes is the basing, or we're in a duple meter, or 4/4. So you can see how the Herta works. We have 2 32nd notes followed by 2 16th notes. And so it's always alternating. And so if you do one, and then another, and then a third one, and a fourth one, you're kind of at the end of the idea that'll work in this measure. We can do another one, but that's an odd number grouping, which I said we want to avoid for the time being. We can get more complicated with that later. So this one has a resolution built into it, meaning that after we play 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we end up being able to resolve it here in beat 3, and then beat 4 becomes our friend and we resolve it. Or it just feels like we're done and we can move on to the next measure. That's probably the most common version that I've heard. And it's the one that I began on. I didn't even know really what I was doing. I just kind of like fumbling my way through it. But this is kind of an elaboration of how it's grouped, because you see 4 groups of 3 in this, and that adds up to 12 16th notes total. And that leaves 4 more out of our 16 notes for us to then fill up the entire measure. All right. But again, remember, there's 4 of these, and I'll show you how I kind of think of it in this example here. So in that example, what I do is I move, basically on a 5-piece kit. I'm on snare, tom 1, tom 2, tom 3 or floor, and that is where I actually then go back to the snare drum to resolve it. And with that, then it just makes more sense. All right, so now on this, I'm going to kind of give you an example of what I mean. And I want to clarify one other thing real quick. We are not doing any doubles on that. In my mind, that does not qualify as a Herta. That's more in the diddle family or doubling family. These are single strokes. So no, this is not a right, left, right type thing where we are. Those are great. Those are great. I love them, but it's not what I consider a Herta. Again, that could be debated, but I'll show you how I think about it, right? So again, we're gonna work in groups, even numbered groups, and I'm gonna do Herta 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'm gonna come back to snare drum to resolve it or finish out the measure. Again, there's other ways to do about it. I'll send you a PDF on this, by the way, of kind of like my breakdown of it and how we can think about it, and also alternatives that may click better. But this is just more in relation to what you play for me. All right, so here we go. I'll play just the pattern on snare drum so you can kind of hear it. All right, so 1, 2, ready, and go, and. All right, so with that, we felt it feel like almost triplet-y. It's not a triplet in my brain. It's just not. It'll pull you toward a triplet, and you can get very lost. So you notice, get a met out. Make sure you're playing it with the met, right? And I've got a little sneaky way to say it that I kind of cooked up, and it's goofy as all get out. But you'll see it on the PDF. Just trust it, and it'll work. I have it not had it not work. All right, so I'll get you that PDF. All right, so here it is again. 1, 2, ready, and a go, and. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that example of where we do first Herta, second Herta, third Herta, fourth Herta, resolved back here on the fourth beat, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, ready, and go, and. All right, let's do that again. 1, 2, ready, and go, and. All right, so now we're going to break that down, and we're going to use it in a groove at that same tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's add a little bit of speed to that, and we'll kind of get a better example of it. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, now, again, get very, very comfortable with that. The PDF will kind of explain it a little bit better, and I'll send you some other information that should help you with that. But don't be afraid to experiment with this. I will tell you that some people prefer to think of it in triplet land. Now, what it does is it reorganizes it, so you have 1 Herta per dotted quarter note in that version of it. So you'd be going like, triplet, 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 da-da-da-da, 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 like that. So with that, in this drum set environment, would be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, notice how we don't need that resolution anymore because it fits now in our meter, in our 12/8 meter. Again, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, honestly, I'm going to get pushback on this, but I like to use it when I'm practicing it. It made sense to me in jazz. Now, again, at your own risk, use this in the middle of jazz band. or if you're on a jazz gig or whatever, because it's a little aggressive. So it'd sound like something like this: 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4. Again, not so jazzy, but I mean, you could. There's certain circumstances that'd be great, but that's a little bit aggressive. But absolutely explore this. I'm a huge fan of splitting the patterns up. So one of my favorite splits of the Herta is where I play. So I do it like that. And so if I did that 4 times and then resolved it, I get something like this, like a 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and again, a ready and go and so I get something like that. But by all means, you once you get comfortable with this and you start moving around the kit. But again, I'm always thinking in groups of 2, in a duple meter, in 4/4, 2/4 type of environment. So, something like that, you can go nutso with it, and it sounds just wicked. It's a fun little tool. So you can kind of get the idea, just noodling around with it, having some fun. Let me know what you think about it, and it's something where I want you totally comfortable with it. It's just fun. It's a great chop to know. Check out the PDF, get back to me, and we'll look at some other versions on this, and we can definitely deep dive it. In fact, I'd rather, because it has some really cool environments. And we also do need to look at the doubled version where we are. And we'll also talk about how to extend it further and over the bar line type of concept and moving it around within the measure. Another thing we can think about is Weckl does a left-handed version of it. I'm pretty sure one of the things that he does is kind of a left-handed Herta. And when that's in the mix, you can throw in one if the sticking is right. Again, this can be deep dived. But anyway, you take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye.